Maybe use a bigger breaker bar. What is that? That's a breaker bar. %, charged. Gentlemen, welcome back. Continuing on with the Comet here. The next step, I don't even know. We got to do these inner fender skirts. That's next here. I got sway bar, steering rack, and we can drop a motor in. I gotta go find a motor. I don't even know where the transmission. I think it's back there. I'm trying this. The mic is here inside of the pocket. Hopefully it doesn't ruin this whole video. That would suck. It might. You'll know if you don't see this video. We gotta get off these aprons. I don't really need this crossbar here anymore. I had that more so, and I mean it doesn't, this is flimsy, it doesn't hold a lot. It was just to hold this somewhat square to the car when I had the whole frame cut off, because otherwise, right in these two straight joints on each side, this whole front end could just wobble all over. So we put in at least some kind of crossbar just to hold that triangulated, so it'll hold it square, straight forward this way. Once you got, like I got the radiator support welded down, once that's locked down to the frame again, it's no longer gonna go side to side really. And well, the top, it's not. Maybe. This isn't a how-to. I'm just showing you guys me installing a Mustang IFS FS. So we gotta get this apron out of here. My idea is to just cut straight in line with the back of the shock tower, just follow that up, cut this right off here, drill out all the spot welds in the front, and just throw that whole apron out. This is gonna be funny. I got a feeling. It looks simple, but this bend up here, this isn't a straight bend. It arcs down towards the front. So that's like a compound bend. There's a line to follow there. There's these imprints in the panel. I'm assuming once we get rid of this shock tower, I'm gonna need to do something across that panel to keep it from, what is it, oil canning? Flopping in the breeze, rattling, vibrating, or the panel just is floppy. It doesn't hold a shape. I'm getting rid of this little lump here for the battery tray because I have a mosquito on already. What was I saying? I got plans. No, I'm not putting it in the trunk. Going crazy here. But yeah, let's just get after it. What do? I just cut right away? I get a drill. Where's your drill? Need a drill. Oh yeah, I'm starting off with a pretty small drill bit, that size, whatever that is, 1/8 inch, smaller. Firing a hole in the middle of every spot weld. I wonder when they're assembling these at the factory, you know, it's just some guy going around with a spot welder, a pinch welder. Are they required to do like one every, on average, every so close together? Or are they like counting how many they do down each panel? How do they know how many to put in? Or is it just up to the guy to be like, nah, that looks, that should do. I mean, you think they'd have to have some kind of like, not a standard, but they'd tell the guy like 1 every 1.5 inches, maybe ish. Or they just show the guy the job and they're like, just get them stuck on there. Figure it out. Just figure it out. We'll start at the top here. That one's good. Yup. Now it should just pop right off. Just pop right off. Abuse the step bit a little bit. Well, why you not just pop right off? Just straight edge off of down there. Sure. Ooh, that goes right through that bolt hole. Maybe come forward a little bit. Still works. You just gotta guess at which way it's cutting. Like a knife through hot butter. Oh yeah, that is soft, except for the one little part that we don't care about. Nice. I just fatigued that right off there. What do they have in between there? There's like they have some kind of something they put in between there. There's our primer that they smashed together, and then something gray. Probably a primer, that's what I would assume. All right, we gotta drill the front ones out here now. The panel is right in line with this headlight, so in order to see and get to the spot welds, I gotta get in there anyhow for welding, so. Oh yeah. Oh, wait. It either turned or it's gonna snap off. It's turning. I don't believe it. Bucket on the radiator support, and then that headlight goes in. Well, there's another bucket that goes in the bucket, and then the headlight goes in the bucket, and then there's a trim ring that goes in outside of the headlight. This is kind of my little favorite ratchet. It's a flex head 1/4 inch drive. Because you break stuff loose, you break a fastener loose, and then you straighten this out, hold the shaft, and you can just spin it out. Only the tip is in there. Oh, there. She didn't want to let go. Hanging on till the end. Well, there's a washer in here. See, for spacing it out. See, I said it looks like it was, yeah, it's pushed up and in right here. When we got this panel apart, we're gonna see if we can straighten this out a little bit. I've been thinking about that. But I was thinking that this side always seemed funny. She's a little crooked and I don't know what to do. Well, if I'm gonna be hammering on this panel, maybe should I pull this light off too? Probably should. I don't know what we're gonna be able to do. It's like this panel was pushed straight in. So there's a big crease here where it makes this bend. This bend is supposed to be more flowing, and it's actually like pushed in on itself behind. So maybe just putting something on there and twisting it would bring that back out. Because then if it brings it back out, this panel can go back a little bit, and then that would straighten that out. And pulling this one forward to bring this one in, which would take care of these washers right here. Because then, yeah, both of those lights would sit in. That sounds like, yeah, that's gonna be planned. This is the biggest crescent I have. And then we got these plates of steel from the scrap bin, so that fits in there perfectly. This one for the front. And you use another crescent wrench to destroy your first crescent wrench. If he has to, use a third crescent wrench and use that one to control where you're spinning on. That brought that out a lot. I don't know if you guys could tell. I don't know. That did a lot. I'm gonna look at this other side, see how close it is. Perfect, if not even a little past. I gotta bend this up a little bit. And we got some hammer and dolly work to do here. And then that hammering there. Let me grab my hammers. You only use nice V-blocks for dollies. Avert your eyes. Avert your eyes. And I'm gonna stick that dolly behind this whole surface area. So I'm gonna hit the highs, and that should help bring it down, but keep the lows hitting that dolly and fighting back. It's getting flatter. There's kind of a crease right here, right where this tear is. Shell straight now. Tell me it's straight now. Is it straight? No. Bit of rust right there. Do I ignore that? I think so. Yeah, that's not gonna really come through, but both planes of that panel are flat. This is pretty much straightened out here. I can fill that little doober in with weld, and I don't know if well, it doesn't affect anything, and it's not, I might just leave that. I gotta drill out spot welds now. How many, why are there so many? Drill out. Easy. Oh, hot. Just wiggle it. Give it a wiggle. Why is it? Oh, you got a clamp on it, you dumb doofus. Sweet. There we go. Fender apron out. Look at, see it? Now we just got to copy this. We just got to make one without the hole. This is gonna be fun. Let me go think about this for a little bit. That's about square. That's about square. That. Okay. And I'm gonna make a line, but on this other side, go across the jaw. Pretty high up here. We gotta get into the good metal. Probably right there. That flat? Flat enough for girls that look at me. How do you know it's cold out? It's cold out. No, in a t-shirt. Up first, yeah. That's pretty loud. I should be wearing something probably. I'll make a little plate to go in here, drill some holes from some spot welds on that plate from this side, and spot welds for along the bottom here, right? Or should I just weld it to stitch weld it? Sometimes I swear I am just so stupid. I'm working off the ground. Car's on a lift. I literally have it like right here in my face when I'm working on. Yeah, like that. We're gonna put her there. Clamp her all down, weld her out. Weld her out. Weld it out. Where's all my clamps? Let me go grab a welder. I gotta find one. Figure out something. Typically anyone would use a MIG gun for this. A MIG welder. Something inert gas welder. Wire? MIG. Metal inert gas. Something like that. But it's out of gas, so we're taking it. Because we got argon, but we don't have mix. Maybe you can run a MIG on just a straight argon. Oh. Don't worry, the battery's disconnected in the car, so that's okay. Don't worry about that. No electronics will be harmed here. It'd be nice to have some of those really long reach vice grips or something to get way on this inside to pinch that. I ain't got that. Nope, sure don't. There's, what is there? That galvanized in there. So keep your eyes shut. Sometimes when you have all that junk behind there and you're heating it up and it's popping on you, just keep rolling the heat on it and blow that stuff off, and then back off So the weld solidifies, and hopefully it's a big deep crater, and then you come back in and you just fill that in. It's not, I wouldn't recommend it always. It's not structural, but for some things, that's okay. And after this is all done, after all the metal work is done, I do plan on seam sealing, I think. That was my plan, seam sealing the seams in the front end here, especially on this inside lip. I want to fill in this corner right there, just to keep the water and junk out of this corner, out of that crack, and then also just so it looks nice on the inside. Okay, done there. You did a good job. Pat yourself on the back. Now I gotta make this whole panel. This is gonna be, let's go transfer some measurements to computer bytes and see what we can draw up on the screen and get going on this panel. There's gonna be a lot of operations here. There's a lot of bends, weird things. It's gonna be interesting. I gotta do something. I got a big hole in my car now here. I gotta fill this in with something. Okay, we got a panel drawing up. It's on a computer. I took all the measurements. Honest, okay, I gotta be perfectly honest with you guys. This right here is a cumulative of 3 days of work getting this panel to this point. I already practiced this. I'm telling you now, it was 3 days of figuring out everything with this panel to get it fit right. Cut a panel, tested it. Cut another panel, tested it. Cut another panel. Like I did this like 4 times. This will be the 5th now. Hopefully it works out, because yeah. All the little notches and nooks and crannies and cuts and bends and everything is figured in here. The opening for the control arm, this is the upper control arm, will be in here. This should work after it's all bent up. Bending this, now that, that's not a guaranteed, like on this plasma table. I click, give me one, it cuts it out, it's exactly the same every time. Putting the bends in here, that's all me. That's, you're gonna see, that's tough. So anyhow, highlight, click, print. There we go. Just that easy. That's gonna be our apron. There it is. Here's our panel. We just gotta put a few features in here and it's all, just put it in, right? Yep, easy. So I know my planned, those beads, we're gonna start with those beads in the middle. That's the hardest part. I made a press. So I made this press deal where there's this die on the bottom with a long skinny raised section in the middle, and then the upper die, I don't know if you can see, is flat with a pocket in the middle. So you put the panel in here and you'd squish it down. And yeah, I had it backed up with 1-inch plate. I built a spine on the back of this upper die even, well, die. And, well, I was able to press out really nice. Look at that. I mean, it's beautiful. Worked out super nice, so I was stoked. But, see how it's warped a little bit? I found out on my first test piece, putting 4 of those in succession, whatever, putting them next to each other, you get to the 4th one and that panel is just like a, not even a taco. It's like a burrito. It's just all, everything. And here's that panel here. This is the one where I did the press forming. You can see it's just bulged up. The edges of the dies were cutting in. This thing is, I don't even think it's picking that up, like how badly that is. Nope, not even. horribly tacoed right up, and there was no getting this back after that. You can see I was trying heat in the corner to fix the crinkle. What happens with the press die is you are pressing this whole thing in one shot, one ka-chunk. So on the edge of this bend, it's pulling on this entire length. What is that, 12 inches, 13, 14 inches, whatever that is. It's pulling on that entire length on this outer metal. And it's just easy for it to like just pull on it and deform that metal all the way out really far because it's pulling on it all at one time. I found out, and that's what we're gonna do, is bead rolling it. A bead roller, you're just doing that little tiny 1 inch. You're moving 1 inch of material at a time. So then it's easier to deform that little section of metal, bend it, like actually stretch it out and make that form, and not pull or affect that much of the surrounding metal, because you're doing such a small little piece at a time. So it's not pulling on this whole panel, it's just pulling on that one spot and deforming the metal. And yeah, you get flatter, nicer panels, I found out. It sucks because I was excited. I put a lot of work into those dies and can't use it. Marker at 4. Just follow this edge down. Ugh. Yep, I put marks on my ruler sometimes. It's just, it comes off if you want to pull it off. 3.5. 10. 16.5. Draw a line. This is going to be one edge of our bead roll. That's a hard line to follow. Make sure that turns out. That's the hardest process, is bead rolling these and getting perfect bead rolls. Or not perfect even, just okay bead rolls. We'll settle for okay. Welcome to my bead rolling corner. It's cramped. There's stuff everywhere. Yep. This is my Harbor Freight HF Horrible Freight bead roller I picked up many years ago. And the only reason I picked it up was to do bead rolls on the end of pipes for like intercooler piping and other piping that has couplers on it and stuff. That's all I bought it for. I never ever once did I remember bead rolling any panel in this thing. It was always end of pipes. I never had a need or whatever to roll a bead in a panel till now. It's my first time. A lot of practice, and I suck. I reinforced this Harbor Freight roller with a couple of plates. This was a long time ago. I did this because of pipes. They were always, the two dies want to walk off to the side all the time, especially on pipe. It was a fight until I made my own bead roller that's smaller. It's like this big total, and it does an awesome job. Anyhow, so yeah, this is my pain right here, is trying to roll these panels on this thing. Another battle with these dies. When you stick your panel in here and you line up a line and you crank down on this die, you always got to keep in mind which side is getting pushed down and which side is getting pushed up. So you're going on the right side of these lines. Otherwise, you're pushing down on the wrong side, or you're pushing up, or there's three things that I like take into consideration here. And these panels don't reach either. Like I come up to here and I hit back here in the throat. So you gotta plan that out. And sometimes I gotta flip it over and bend it from the other side and try to copy these lines to the other side and follow them on the other one. That's one of these. That might be even this one. I always try to start in the middle too and work my way out. I don't want to work my way from the outside in. So we can clear this whole thing. Yep. And I think I gotta look at the other one in the car now. I think I go to the front side. I gotta mark that out too. That's another thing to mark. Otherwise you get screwed up. So we're bending to the front side of these lines. This is where the bead rolls gotta be. Okay, so I know where my bead rolls are gonna be ahead of this line, but now I gotta remember, like I said, which way am I pushing those beads? This is the passenger side, so I want to be pushing them out. Yeah, so this will be facing on the inside. This is the front. I want to be pushing them down in this panel. You got to do each of these beads twice because this die only rolls one side of that bead. There's flat panel, it makes a bend, and then it's flat inside of that bead, and then it makes another bend and continues on. So there's two bends in there. We got to do one side, flip this over or around or however we can do it, and do the other side and do them both right. I'm gonna follow right down the very edge of this line. And I already, thanks to like a day of practice, I know that my beads are 7 turns deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I parked it right there. And then we hand crank way out here, 3 miles away, while we're trying to look down this line and line up that line. Just go slow. I'm just watching right down the edge of this line and lining it up at the edge of that die. Take a peek behind, make sure you're pressing stuff in the right directions and it's in the right spot before you go cranking her across the whole panel. Oh, starting to stray a little bit there. You know, a power one. Power die bead roller thingamajigger, that would be nice. And then we plow it into the wall back here and stop right when that die meets this line up here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pull that out. Flip her around. Yep, that's what we want. But this is where it runs into the side here. So I gotta see if I can flip this over. And can I do it this way somehow? Yeah, I can do it there. We had these outside lines already drawn on here accidentally, oops. But now I can just follow the bottom, the very inside bottom lip of that already rolled edge on the edge of this die and just follow that as the line so we don't have to draw another line. Am I doing it wrong? Yup, that would have been wrong, right? I don't know. Oh, we want to go over here. That makes more sense. Okay, so scratch that. Yeah, we're going bottom of or top of this line right here to the edge of this die. So then, because this is supposed to be the raised side, this is the back side. So we want to go down with that bend, and that's what this one will do. 5, 6, 7. Go. That's nice. I think I put a little dip right at the bottom there. Can't all be perfect. 4, 5, 6, 7. You know how many times I've done this? See that nice? And the panel still relatively flat. Towards the front side of the lines. That's right. Now we just repeat and repeat and make sure it's always to the right side of the line. Don't mess that up. magnet holder. I've been waiting to try this. I'm gonna stick you guys. Look at you're gonna be like blah, 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 shaking all over. This is gonna be funny. Don't throw up. Well, you can. You're at home. This one gets tricky, so I put you guys way off. Well, kind of on the side here. Got the bead rolls in. I want to do one around the outside lip here of this opening. And these all bend that way in or out of the car, out of the engine bay. They bend that way. This one I want to bend in this way. So it's like a raised feature on the inside of this panel. So I gotta, which way do we do that? Can't go that way. The side that we want. Make sure you're right. Yup, that's right. Opposite of these. So let's push them down. Okay. Gotta hold up the panel 2 feet that way. And reach over to the crank 2 feet this way. And just do your best, I guess. Because you can't put your head down the eyeball. Okay, now we're at a bend. Boy, it'd be nice. I just had to step on a pedal. Those guys got their power rollers there. They got her made. Well, if I could index this handle too, that would. I can kind of see down the side of the die. Oh no, I ran out of travel. Dang it. So I put it here. It's bending it the wrong way. When I flip it over, then what does it do? It's still bending it the wrong way. How does that end? What? How does that figure out? How are you supposed to stick it in? Then, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, now we know. Like that. Somebody was out there going, flip it around, dumbass. There's 1, 2. That's already done. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, oh. Don't fight me now. What am I doing? What does that look like? Does that look like a panel? Bent? Now we got 90s. Ooh, careful. 90 and 90, 90, something else, like 7. There's bends everywhere. So let's get marking those out, bending those. Good time. I gotta remember here now, this is the inside. So all the bends go away from the inside. So we gotta mark up this side of this panel. I never push record. Dang nibbits. Well, for you that have missed it, which is everybody, we did some bends. There's some 90s on the front of there, and this bottom flip, it's at 7 degrees. But I looked and pushed record right at the right time, because now we're going to do this arced bend, the one that's arced. And the most important one across the top here. I don't like this one. And this only gets bent to like 65, 60, maybe 70 degrees or something. little bit to get it going. A little bit. And I explained this, but you guys missed it. This bottom die isn't bolted down or held down. So every time I do that, drop it in between like that, in between my bends, it's because I'm recentering or resetting that lower die because it moves around a little bit. What kind of clown show you got going on around here? Now we go back the other way. And the deeper the bend gets, the more easier it gets, because it kind of centers itself up a little bit in the die. Just little bits at a time. That bend, oh yeah, you notice it's bowed a little bit? Yup, that's a problem. We're gonna go talk about that. Let's go see if it fits first. Now, if it's anything like the other side, it should just go right in there with just minimal wiggling and finagling. Pretty much like that. Nice. Oh, the bottom of that. Oh yeah, I gotta trim that off every time. Should have made that adjustment in the computer program. There. Look at that. That is awesome. I gotta do a little trimmy just to the bottom of this tab right here. That's it. That's the only flaw in this whole spiel. That's how many times I've done this in practice. Oh, panel after panel after panel, just to make it so it fits just like that. So if somebody wanted these panels for their car, I could probably just make some up. I'm gonna put some clamps on stuff and we'll have a poke around at it. There's a liner 6000. Yeah, like that. There she is. I can't even believe it myself. There it is. Set in. You see it lined up all the way down with all the pinch welds. Lines up at the bottom of the frame. These holes, this forward one, I got a little bit of trimming to do on the front inside of that one tab up in there. But these, the other side is lined up perfectly and it fits up in there perfectly. And then this back one, look at, you can't even tell, but that's both panels there. That's how good those holes line up there. And all the way down, covering up where all those holes for that pinch weld on the inside are be. So I'll do all those. Pull this in, pinch weld. Well, yeah, I gotta drill all these holes so we can weld all the bottom of that. Here you can see the back side there where it covers up and you kind of see those holes in the gap. You get clamps on there, pull that all up. Yeah. I am happy with that. That is awesome. Now I guess you can see the other side. This one already all welded in. Like I said, all the pinch welds all the way down. Yep. And nice and straight. There's a little dip right there. And that's actually it's weird. It's in the cut program, and I didn't change it because I don't think it's going to be a problem. That's all underneath the fender when it's bolted in. So. Trying to get a cool shot. Now, see, rabbit hole? Wow. Why end it there? Why not just sheet her off? There's more to do on this panel yet. We got to straighten it out that way. That's the only way it's like out of whatever now, out of round straightness, whatever. And then drill holes on the bottom. Get her all clamped in, measured up, make sure everything is right. Turn off the copyright, cause we will get monetized. Where the heck are my gloves, eh? I was right here. Right there in front of my face. Okay, it's day 4 now. Working on this apron. You can see down that way. You can see it's got like a bow to it. And this way. Take care of that. I got this shrinker stretcher metal. It shrinks it and stretches it. Makes it longer and shorter. Let's go this way. That means this metal is stretched out or longer than it is here. So I got to work this lip and try and shrink it. Most stretchers or shrinkers and stretchers only do like 18 gauge steel. This one is supposed to do 16 gauge, but I'm guessing the width of the jaw is like half of this lip that's here. This is asking a lot for it. I haven't been having super great luck with it, but this whole lip has got a bow to it, so we'll just start basically from one end here and or in the middle. Just let it in there. Visor done. I'll start from right here. Clamp them between those jaws now. And this handle's already been bent like 4 times because it's a 16 gauge. See, I just don't know if I don't feel like that's pulling it together. So then you put the cheater bar on. Lean on her until you feel deflection in that. Move over a little bit. And repeat. Move over a little bit. And then repeat. And we move over a little bit. And we repeat. Sure don't look like much. Well, maybe. I don't know. You guys look. Can you tell? So, maybe a little bit. And you see like all those little, that's every one that I did. I don't know, maybe it shrunk it. I think I only went that deep in. Maybe I'll come up to this edge here. On the next pass here. Maybe I gotta shrink it further in there now.
8 hours later.
Yep, I think that's gonna be it. So, you guys can tell looking down there, we got a relatively straight panel. Let's go toss her in. Wait, no, gotta drill holes. Okay, let's go drill holes. That sounds like fun. No. On. Drills. Yep. slip into your spot. There. Okay, weld it up. Oh, that's sharp. That, yep. That's sharp. Perfecto. I like it. For drawing in these panels where you can't reach with a clamp in there, I just use some self-tapping or self-screwing sheet metal screws. Bring these. First check where we are, y'all. Oh yeah, that'll work. Just do some of those across your panel. Every other one I usually do. That one's stripped out. That's okay. I usually do every other one, but sometimes if the panel's far away, I put it right in there. See, I can weld that one now. I do every other one. You weld then in between them, and then you should be able to pull one out, weld it up, pull the next one out, go down the line. And one more here. Where about way in the end? Nope. How about up here? Sure. All right, now that panel behind there is nice and tight, I'll go back there and I'll tap a little bit in between here with the whammer, but she should be pretty much ready to go. Got a little bit of... That's got a high spot right next to the screw. I'll have to pound that down after you take the screw out. There, that'll do, I think. Right. Gas check. Nope. Gas. Start in the middle. This one looks the tightest. What am I doing? Feels like my first time. What's going on? That's hot. I can come eat. I can go eat. I'm gonna go eat. All right, I got this front welded up. Top one's welded. But this one, you can see just the edge of that plate in there. It missed this hole altogether. I'm gonna get a piece of copper and back up that back side, and we're gonna go kind of hot in this corner and try to get that plate a little bit, but keep it flat. All right, I got a little hunk of copper here. I got some options here. I'm gonna, from the back side, I'm gonna stick this up in here and see how I can get that to sit in there flat. I think it's gonna be something like that. And then clamp it in, and I'll have a backing for my for the thingy, for the welder. Yeah. That's pretty nice. I'm not gonna be able to clamp that. All day. Can I clamp that? Is that gonna do it? Can't even hardly see the copper in there. Yeah, it's there. That'll have to do, I think. Yeah. Fill in this hole and concentrate some heat down on this bottom edge, so at least I get a little piece of that bent over tab that's behind here. Watch your eyes. That wasn't bad. Right. Next. Don't stand up too fast. Get your head on something. I can drop this panel down yet, so let's start from this corner and drive whatever looseness in these panels, drive it this way so we can get to the bottom. We can take up the adjustment with that new panel. So we'll start up here. I'm gonna start with this. Well, yeah, start with this first hole right here. That worked okay. I can put a clamp on down here, so that's okay. That's the main thing. Now we can start welding and doing and stuff. Start with this one. Where I need a filler rod. Ain't got no filler. Ain't got no filler in there. It's tight. Tight, tight, tight. Whoa. Yeah, I still have to build these end caps with the bumper bolts and stuff in there. I think I can say that this panel's in. Welds down there, welds across there, up, yup. Both sides all done. Nice. That was a huge, I'm happy that's done. I was worried about this part of it because just making up these panels is just, stressed out about it. It's a lot of new things to me and I wasn't sure, like this arc. That's still gonna be, I don't know, I'm hoping that's gonna be right. The fender's gotta follow that. I'm hoping if anything I just need like a washer or two here and somewhere, and then everything will be okay. That's worst case scenario I'm hoping for. I still got to finish those inside plates on the frame rails. I don't know if you guys noticed that the inside ones aren't on there yet. That's because still nope, I'm no TIG welding that. I'm waiting for gas for the MIG for those. The other thing is plugging holes. This firewall's got a pile of them. You can't see behind the hoses here. Somebody cut out a huge gaping hole there. It looks like the shape that you would maybe stuff some AC lines through, but there was no signs of AC on this car whatsoever that I saw. Then hole, and whatever, hole, yep, hole. This one looks like it was chopped out by a beaver. This one, I have no idea. That's no idea. These here, same thing, no idea. I can take that off now. Oh yeah, sure can. Well, and that's about all I can fit on this video without getting way crazy out of control with long ass videos. I appreciate you all watching all the way to the end. Please hit that subscribe and like if you want to see the rest of Comet. We're getting there. I know I say it every time, but we're closer than ever. I'm happy to have this done. This was a pretty big hurdle in this ordeal here. Next video, I'm gonna be getting after that steering column because we need to be able to steer. And something else. Oh, I bought a sway bar, a 1-inch. It's not crazy, but it's more than factory, so it should just middle of the road. Just we want nice sway bar end, sway bar, steering column, and then I think I'm gonna bring the motor home, meet that up to the transmission, and throw that in here and see where it wants to sit. Oh, I gotta make a drive shaft yet then too. It's always one thing after another. Seam sealer and paint after that, I think, because that'll be it for metal then, right? And you probably notice the shirt. Yeah, that's my, was it godmother, I think? Yeah, Denise. Thank you for the embroidering, and yeah, these are nice. I like these. I got a few of them. You'll see them because I'll be wearing them when I'm working out here. Yeah. Have a good evening, morning, day, night, whatever's going on when you're watching this.